So friends, we have seen like if we pass to when the second component will load. If we check now, you can see the first name, last name, contact number. Y- you can observe like for first step we have the first name, last name and contact number, but we have copied the same, so it is showing as the same. So let's change it to the email. Second one is country, then so district, and for third we will have city, landmark, and last one is postal code. So let's check it. You can see the email, country and district is the second step, but our the step is not moving. If we even if we have around second step, it should be on the second. So for that we have to pass the step, uh, the current step to the our this stepper and this component as well. So what we will do, we will create a context, and based on that context we will pass the dynamic value. So let's move to our step context. So let's remove this. So now just here and just removing from here. So let's so yeah, we have to rename this step context. Let's rename the file as well. So here we have to use the use context hook. So const, first one is the current step, and the set step function, and we will use useState. We are passing initial 1, so we have to bring that from here as well. So useState. So after importing here, let's create the context. So export multi-step context equal to react dot create context. So this is the way how we can create the context, and these are the steps. So let's like make more. So user data set user data use state. Here we are passed as empty, then const final data, then set final data. This is the function, and where it is when we are using a use state, and inside the use state we are putting as a empty array initially. So inside the return, let's make multi-step context dot provider and the value. So we have to pass the values like current step, then set step, then user data set user data, then final data, set final data. So we are passing whatever the variable or state variable we have mentioned here, as well as the function like a set state, set user data, set final data we are passing with the provider. So here, so we have to pass the app, means the root component of our app, root import app from the app, and we have to pass that app here, so that this provider, this value can access within the app. So now let's bring this into the app. So import, bring the multi step context from step context, and let's put over here const first one is, so instead of from square current step and final data we will require. So from where we are getting this, so use context of multi-step context. So but we have to import this first with the help of component. So I think component is not required, so we will remove this. Now what we have to pass, we have taken this step, so let's put here as a dynamic way. So why we are putting is a current step minus. If we pass the current step it's as a 1, the stripper, what it will do, it will start with 0, so we have to start with 0, means the first step. So then, so we have to pass here current step. With this we will show the component, and the same step or the current step value we are passing to the stripper, so that our above stepper will pass, will move based on that. So we have some error, like step context is not defined, step context.js. So let's check that one, step context. Okay, we have to here, let's check it out. Still we have error like 5 to 70 step context. Step context number 517. What is I know? Okay, we have to const. So now it should. Okay, we have the multiple error like cannot destruct a property of current step of object as undefined. The reason maybe we have to pass this context over here, so let's import here, import step context from here. We have to take step context, and we have to bring our app inside this. Then So let's check it out. Yeah, now you can see we are on step 1. If I click on next, it will not work because we have not given the action to a button. So let's give that on click. So before that, let's import the useContext, and then we have to import multi-step context from the step context, and we have to take const set step user data, and what we will require, set user data, from where it will use context of multi-step context. So what we will do, we will call the function set step, and we will pass as a 2. So we are passing here 2. Let's put in this into bracket. Now what will happen is once we click on the step 2, the set step method will call from the set step context the set step, and it will update the current step value. So let's check it on the form first. If you click on next, yeah, you can see now our first step is completed, and we are on second step, and we are getting the second step values. So let's do this for second step and third step as well. So we will do that in the next video.